44, Mark.
I get it. How's your chest?
Okay, no, it sucks. Let's go.
All right, guys, we're back. The Real Quick Mike Swick Podcast, episode number 44.
Yes.
Who's the 44th president of the United States? Marky Mark?
Mr. Barack Obama.
All right. Good job. I mean, that's an easy question for you, Mr. Trivia Guy.
Yeah, well, I'm the smartest guy in the room usually.
Yeah, I hear you. You remember things. Whatever you call that. You have a good memory.
Good memory.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You don't remember the word memory?
Yeah, I don't know how you tag someone with that. So what's been going on at the gym? I've been gone a little bit working, and it's busy, man.
Yeah.
Looks like things are going good for low season, especially.
Well, technically it is low season.
Yeah, I know.
But we have not been affected by that term yet.
Seems that way.
So, yeah, I mean, things are good. We just had a run of some good fights, a lot of Muay Thai. Manel Cape just fought. Ryzen.
That was a good fight against Ito. Ryzen 15.
And I'm going to sound like an asshole. Is it Ryzen or Risen?
Ryzen. Yeah, I think so. I think
because I've heard it both ways.
We went back and forth when I was there with the mirror. Every time I called it something different.
Potato.
They would correct me, and then I would wonder if they were right, and it would just keep going back for like a year. But I think it's Ryzen, like rise above.
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
I think Caribbean sounds... No, I don't know. They both sound kind of...
Pecan or pecan? Pecan. Yeah, I hate people.
We're from Texas, so...
my
grandfather actually picked pecans.
Well, good. He didn't pick pecans.
Yeah, he didn't.
I hate people who say wrestle instead of wrestle.
Yeah.
So, well, there's a list of people I hate.
I think Hacksaw Jim Duggan wrestled.
Okay, don't disrespect him. You know he's my
favorite. No, it's not. That's the old days. You know, the old slang kind of verbiage for wrestling.
That is deep Texas.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Manel.
Yeah.
Congrats, second round knockout.
Very good performance, and he is living the life now, man. I like seeing these guys coming up like Amir did, you know, from AKA Thailand, and start making a big name for themselves and enjoying the spotlight. You know, he's hashtag Starboy, hashtag Easy Money. He's loving it, man, and they love him. You know, just like Amir, you know, Japan. He's getting big, man.
He's got a blue check now.
Does he?
Yeah, I'll never have one.
He got blue checked, huh?
Or a paycheck.
Oh, there you go.
But so he's starting to get cashing on that Easy Money name. Cashing on that fame a little bit, so...
Well, that was kind of easy money. I mean, he finished in the second round.
He kicked the shit out of him.
Very good.
So, I mean, he's AKA, you know, kind of what they do over there.
Yeah.
So, good for him, man. Like, he had he overcame something that happened to him a few months ago, so good for him.
He had a tragic thing that happened, and like a lot of fighters, you know, this is kind of like the thing with the fight world that people don't realize is fighters go through a lot, man. It's not like they show up perfect every single fight. So when you see these guys like Anderson Silva and obviously Khabib, guys that have these big winning streaks, like that's why guys like me look at it like, fuck, how the hell do they do that? Because like, how do you put all that stuff beside and go out there and fight? Oftentimes they're sick. You know, they have losses in the family, stress.
Stuff you don't hear about.
You know, maybe issues with their girlfriend or wife, and they keep showing up and winning. And, you know, Manel did a good job of putting that aside and doing the right thing, going out there
at one of your weigh-ins in Houston, remember?
My grandfather had a heart attack.
Yeah, like during the weigh-ins.
While I was weighing in.
Yeah.
Like I was weighing in, and while I was facing off Yushin Okami, it was outside. It was hot. It was like he had the heat stroke.
That was weird how it was outside.
It was a heat stroke.
Yeah.
So I was standing on the stage looking down, and I saw all these Swick Fu, because I was Swick Fu back then. You know, I had the Swick Fu shirts. I saw all these Swick Fu shirts like gathering around, not looking at the stage, and they were like, I saw the back of the shirts, and like I looked down, and there was like a huge crowd of them, and I thought it was like a fight. And I was like, who the hell got in a fight from my crowd? It's all like my family and stuff, and it was him, man. He had a heat stroke, and luckily he was okay, but I spent the whole night before the fight with him in the hospital, kind of like talking to him and making sure he was okay. And it was like, wow,
and
crazy shit, you know?
Another fun one, which I know you don't remember, is that morning before because the weigh-ins were the day before, obviously. The morning before, do you remember you ate that pink chicken? And
that was the same fight.
Yeah.
That was the morning of the fight.
Yeah.
I had a chicken breast in the hotel room. I ate half of it.
Did you order it raw, or was it?
No. I mean, I don't think so.
God, I saw it because you showed it. I mean, it was...
Well, I was eating half, talking to everybody. You're nervous for the fight. You know, you want to get out there and fight. I don't eat a lot on fight day because I want to be light. The chicken breast you eat's not going to help you during the fight. It's not going to digest, you know. So I usually eat pretty light.
Looked like salmon. It was so pink.
Yeah, so I cut it up, and I was just eating, kind of talking to you guys or whoever was there. And I looked down, and it was just like completely raw on the inside. And I was like, no way, man. And I was looking up on the internet, like how long does it take to get food poisoning? Because I had a fight in I think 5 hours or something. So I was like, will it at least last, you know, or start taking effect after the fight, so I don't have to deal with it during the fight? And it was 3 to 6 hours. I was like, oh, fuck. right in the middle of my fight. I was like, God damn. That sucks.
Did it ever affect you?
No. My head. I was like, damn, man, I don't want to get sick. But and then they came in the room with like biohazard suits. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah. They wore all this like plastic shit when they came to remove the chicken. I was like, wow, that helps my stress level.
Huh.
Yeah. And then they apologized. So they did do that. So, and I did ultimately lose that fight. But
blame it on the chicken?
Nah, I won't blame it on the chicken.
You blamed one of your losses on me.
But that's true. The chicken didn't stop me.
16 weeks before your fight, I got arrested, and that ruined
it ruined like 3 of my training sessions to have to go get out of jail.
Sorry, Mike.
My opponent probably trained those sessions, and he got that edge. You know, his friend wasn't, going to jail in Thailand, so,
Fair enough.
But,
well, I owe you.
Speaking of jail, who's likely to go to jail or in jail or may have gone to jail recently in the news?
From Thailand? Talking about some
Mr.
local
Darren
news?
Till.
Or Darren Till.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, we got some local people.
Because we were segueing we were talking about going to
leave
jail.
The segues to your boy, right?
But that's obviously the big news right now. So what's your take on that?
Well, he apparently, him and 4 of his boys, which I think you said it best yesterday when we touched on this, was Darren's not quite famous enough to get away with it, but he's famous enough for everybody to know that he got arrested. It's like I said, you went to jail. It'd be like, Mike Swick and then Mark.
He's famous enough to not have his friends listed.
Yeah.
It's like Darren Till and 4 unknowns. So it's kind of cool for them.
Well, it's like I don't even have my name listed on this podcast show.
Yeah, true. Yeah. One day, Mark.
When? We're on episode 44.
Yeah, we got to get to like 444.
Super.
So
anyway, he fucked up a hotel room, apparently.
Yeah.
$10,000 worth of damage.
You got to work to do that, man.
Yeah, that's a good, I mean, I'll be willing to bet, I don't know for a fact, but it wasn't like a sober encounter.
Yeah.
I would imagine these guys were drinking pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because then they left the hotel. They got kicked out, obviously. And then got a taxi.
That's crazy,
Then
man.
they stole the taxi.
Even drunk, though, how do you feel that's going to go good at all?
You'd figure one of his 4 friends would be like, hey, man, you got quite a career ahead of you.
That's not how friends of fighters work, bro. They're living a life. They're not trying to slow you down in any way. I've seen that my whole career.
Some of the stories that we've encountered. Yeah. I tried to keep you clear of the... No, I didn't.
We haven't... Yeah, you didn't. And we didn't have that kind of stuff.
Well, we would never destroy
I mean, when you go to a
stuff.
different country, man, that's like a whole...
Yeah, we're not hoodlums.
Whole new
thing.
They
were in Spain? Is that right?
Spain.
Spain?
I think he was in Canary Islands. I think it was. And that's why...
My favorite color.
Yeah, that's my take on this is like... I mean, if you're going to steal a taxi, like... Maybe don't do it on an island. Like he was destined to get caught, right? I don't know how exactly he got caught, but maybe being on an island was like the first.
Well, I think they went to a different hotel and they wouldn't let him in because they're all hammered.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
And then, I guess just driving in circles on an island.
Yeah.
Not the best getaway plan, but
exactly.
But
yeah. So I mean, is there any update on that or no? I mean, that was like a day
not that I've heard. It was just
half.
Yesterday. So.
Oh, was it?
As far as I know that they levied the fines. I'm sure that he just has to pay for it, which I don't understand that it's an $800 fine to steal a taxi. I mean, that's
$800.
Yeah, that's how much. The room was $10,000, and it was $788 was the fine for the taxi
for accidentally stealing a taxi.
How do you come on?
Why would you even, as a writer, why would you even say something that ignorant? Like you can't accidentally steal anything.
I don't know. I mean,
like because it isn't stealing.
I have accidentally woke up in an abandoned apartment.
Well,
about 6 buildings away from my apartment.
But if you can drive and walk,
that's true.
You should be observant.
Well, I couldn't do either.
Well, I'm talking about Darren Till. That's crazy.
Yeah, so
he's lucky it's not in like Thailand or someplace where it might be a little stiffer to.
Well, hopefully it just goes away because, obviously bad publicity when you're up and coming.
It probably will. I mean, what else can happen now? He pays the fine and leaves. There's nothing going to happen. There's no like headline news on it.
He didn't hurt anybody. I don't think he just destroyed a room.
I mean, I think everybody's done something a little crazy like that.
I haven't.
Yeah, every freaking weekend, man. So getting back to Thailand.
Yeah. See, when you said because there's a pretty big story here. I think it's starting to go viral, as the kids say. There is a couple. So this guy,
the Seastead,
the Seastead thing.
I heard about this.
This guy, Chad Elawaskowski, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's worse than my last name.
I know his middle name is Andrews because they called him Chad Andrews. So it's like 2 first names. I remember that. His last name, forget it. It's like
it's something ridiculous.
It's like Polish or something like mine.
I think he's from Michigan or Minnesota. So obviously he's American, and he made a shit ton of money via the Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he came to Thailand, married a young Thai lady, and thought it would be a good idea to build a shack or a shanty. I don't know what you call it.
It was an octagon, ironically enough.
Was it?
An 8x8 meter octagon.
I think I saw one picture, but I didn't. But he built it 12 miles.
We built it and then put it out there.
Well, of course, yeah. But off the coast of Phuket.
Yeah.
And I think his thinking was the maritime law or some shit, like rules don't apply to him or something because he's out that far. I mean, I don't know. If you're smart enough to make a good living, then you should be smart enough to know that you can't just float out in the middle of the damn ocean. But it was anchored, so he couldn't go anywhere. But
that's scary, man.
I mean,
even just 12 miles.
Well, what if a boat comes? I mean, it's gonna hit your home.
It's so thought out by him, obviously, but so like unthought out too. Because like, I mean, dude, what if you need medical care? I mean,
theoretically, it's a neat idea.
Nah.
But I mean, if you're thinking, I like to be by myself with just my woman and some
when
champagne.
I grew up in Texas and I was a kid, that was a cool idea maybe. But like when you get older and have like
responsibility,
a normal brain and can actually like research and figure things out, like, it's not a great idea.
What if you get hungry? You know, I mean, I get you got food stored there or whatever, but
so you said the maritime thing, is that to like avoid taxes and live like independently, or
probably?
Is it,
he's one of those guys
because he got in trouble for this. I mean, he's facing the death penalty.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Life in prison or the death penalty.
So he was trying to avoid whatever little thing he was trying to avoid and live in the middle of nowhere.
Like you said, if he was just on a boat sitting there, he'd have been fine.
Yeah.
But he wants to put a pole all the way down to the ground or whatever, and now he's suspended at like a bird's nest looking thing. I don't know. It just...
Yeah, an 8x8 meter octagon is like... You're probably picturing something nicer, like already.
Yeah.
It is like just literally what I just said. It's a container.
Yeah,
it looks
I saw
like
one
metal.
picture of it inside. It looked like lawn furniture.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not nice.
I mean...
and he's supposed to be this like Bitcoin, millionaire or something. It's like, why didn't you get a yacht and you could just fucking live all over the ocean?
Or
anywhere.
Just get a beautiful place on the beach. And then take a boat out there.
And I watched the video, and he kept saying, it's a bargain because my ocean view and all this. But it's like, is it like? Of course, it's ocean view. You're on you're on the ocean. But it's like it's not the same as a house. Like when you're sitting in a nice chair with air conditioning, you got your TV on, you're looking at the ocean, and you shut the drapes and go to bed. That's different than being on a fucking container or in a container in the middle of the ocean with nothing around you. It's not peaceful in that. It looked
like it was suspended, like obviously on a pole.
Yeah.
Like I'd say a solid 15 feet off the top of the ocean. Now, God forbid that there's ever a storm in Thailand.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do during a hurricane or whatever they call them here, tsunamis and all that shit?
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't thought out, man. And like,
well, what's dumb is he's going to get the life sentence or the death penalty. I mean, that to me, it seems a little harsh. But
yeah, it is.
There's a guy that found a cell phone and got what did he get? Remember the guy that found the cell phone and then I can't remember how long he went to jail.
I don't know much about that story.
You really gotta, if you're gonna come to Thailand, man, you gotta do a little research.
He found the phone and picked it up and walked off.
Yeah,
it was on the ground, right?
And he was trying to return it apparently, and because he actually physically moved the phone from one location to another, he took it to his hostel, which you shouldn't stay in a hostel in Thailand. That's just the dumbest thing. But the guy did have dreadlocks, which they shaved in jail.
They shaved his dreadlocks.
Yeah, he got to keep them though.
They gave them back to him.
So
wow, how old was this guy?
Probably like 26.
Jesus, man. They shaved his dreadlocks. Did he get out? Is he cool?
Yeah, his family had to raise something like a substantial amount of money, I believe. But it's just,
what was the fine for something like that? Do you remember? No. Do you know, Greg?
Something like 800 grand or something, right?
800,000?
800,000 baht, yeah.
So 24,000
euros.
So $24,000.
He was facing up to
for taking a cell phone.
3 years in jail.
Holy shit!
There was that lady that passed away. God bless her. She was an elderly lady, but somebody stole her iPhone, and then 2 days later she has a heart attack. And because she could not call the police or the medical assistants, whatever, that guy got charged with like second-degree murder.
Get out of here!
Yeah, dude. Thai law, man. If you just come here and be a normal human being, I feel like I do dumb shit.
You do. But and you're the exception, and like, you have to really try hard like these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't come to Thailand and accidentally get put in jail and get these kind of like sentences, but you have to respect the fact that you can't screw around here.
Yeah.
I mean, Conor McGregor comes to Thailand and starts screwing around like he does in America. It ain't going to be the same. He's not getting slapped on the wrist.
It's impossible to get away with anything here.
Yeah.
I like literally when I drive to work, I see the exact same 7 people every time. Like I know he's going to be outside doing this. I know a guy's coming. You know, the same. You just see the same people because you're on an island.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there's. You know, it's not Houston with 2 million people or whatever.
Right. It's a big island.
So you
but
can't
you
get
do
away
know.
with dumb shit.
Yeah.
Don't steal. Just don't steal. Just be a normal human being. You know.
Yeah.
But
I think the guy with the cell phone wasn't like.
well, that's
he
what
didn't have like a
says.
master
I was going to
plot.
return it. Really?
I don't think he was going to return it.
You know.
But I think $24,000 in a couple years in jail was a little harsh for that one too.
Which, I mean, am I just too old? Why do people steal cell phones? To me, that's like stealing car radios now. What the fuck are you going to do with it?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, I get like the brand new iPhone 10 or whatever, which I'll own when there's a 13 out.
Yeah.
But I just don't. Isn't it hard to jailbreak and especially in Thailand?
What if he's more upset about the $24,000 or his dreadlocks? Well, those guys grow those things for a long time.
I mean, I'm sure they smell terrific too.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know those guys love shaving that thing off. That's probably the first thing they did before they even knew what a sentence was or anything.
I wonder if he really kept it.
I mean,
buddy, when you were a kid, do you remember Fantastic Sam's?
Yeah.
Do you remember that if you would
place.
give them your hair and put it in a machine, it would spit out a lollipop?
Yeah. Get out of here.
Swear to God. Well, it was a fucking gimmick for us 4-year-old kids, but it wasn't really a magic machine that took hair as currency.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know, that was a fun memory.
I never even told me anything about that. So going back to this Seastead by the seashore. So let's go back into that a little bit. So this guy lived out there.
Only for like 2.5 weeks, I think.
That's crazy, man.
I wonder how much he spent to build that shitty looking house.
Why would you how could you live on in a container? Like that's so crazy to me.
And it looked like it could have been bigger in this room.
Yeah. Well, it's 8 by 8 meters, so 24 feet.
Okay, so a little bit bigger in this room.
Yeah.
I mean, you would assume that half of that would have to taken up with food and water. Where do you shower? Where do you use the facilities? I mean, I just there's so many questions. I just want to meet this guy.
Well, I think he's facing some harsh punishment.
Yeah, we could pen
Did they
pal
catch
him
him?
from jail? Yeah. Well, where's he gonna go?
I mean, I thought he was gone when they went to the.
No, he was at home.
Oh, they caught him.
Yeah, he's gone. The place is gone. They took it out.
Oh, I knew that, but I thought when they went there, he was gone.
Thailand used 300 naval officers to disassemble it and take it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Busy day in Thailand for the Navy, I guess. But
I just don't get it, man. Like, why would you want to live out there? I mean, what could you avoid that's worth it? You know, like even taxes or whatever.
I mean, I pay
you
taxes
need hospitals.
here.
You need grocery stores, food, water. I mean, you're in the ocean, but you got to have water to drink. I mean, what if you?
Bangla Road.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, that's
crazy.
crazy.
I just don't see his end game. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, and not only that,
we know his end game
do
now.
something so stupid.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously it's a victimless crime, but the guy might, again, reiterate, he might get life or death.
He's facing the death penalty.
I mean, again,
maybe you should research that before you do it. You know, like you always kind of like when you do something crazy, you should look at the things that could possibly go wrong, and then maybe the punishment.
His wife is Thai.
When it says death penalty, maybe go to something else.
Yeah, you figure even if there is a language barrier, ask your wife. Be like, hey, do me a favor. Will you contact whoever?
How about this? He's going to enjoy life better in jail, probably even as bad as it is. He's going to have food, running water, friends. So he's going to have a better life probably than being on a container in the ocean. So he's probably like getting a little bit.
I'm going to have to back you up there. There is no running water in Thai
there
jails.
isn't. Well, when you pee, it's running. Because I know you laid by the toilet.
Down
so you could probably confirm how much that water ran or that urine.
Yeah, the 2 buckets that they provide for flushing. And then some dude bathed in it. He stood over the hole in the ground and bathed with it. I mean, I was only 17 hours. I waited.
Well, you were in Thai jail, too. I bet Thai prison's even worse.
Oh, no, I bet it's better. Fuck yeah, it's worse.
Because there was a guy in your cell that came from prison.
Was there for 5 years.
And he seemed, from your stories, he seemed pretty happy. So he was probably having a way better time in jail where you hated it versus prison where
I was scared he was going to kick the shit out of me.
He was like the king. I mean, he was like the main guy.
That guy ran the whole place.
Yeah, so he wasn't like living as a victim in there. And for counterfeiting money. I mean, that wasn't like a real like violent act either. And he was in there for what, 5-6 years?
5 years. And I asked him, I said, what are you going to do the day you get out? Because we got both out on Thursday. I went to McDonald's and hung out with you.
Yeah.
He says, I just want to run into the ocean. Hey, I was with you and we got pulled over.
We had wine coolers in the back.
Yeah.
We had wine coolers in a
It literally couldn't have been worse. We got pulled over in a Mustang.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, you guys been drinking. It's his mom's wine coolers, obviously.
Yeah.
And so
obviously,
pop the trunk.
She drinks a lot of different flavors.
Pop the trunk. There's like 61 wine coolers in there. We're just like, oh, what the fuck?
I forgot to take them out.
So the cop's like, I'm 6'5", JB was 6'8".
Yeah.
You're 6'1". And some pretty big dudes. The cops are like 5'8" and 5'3" and stuff, little tiny guys. And they just look at us like we're the biggest vaginas for. And I'm like, look, I don't drink. I didn't drink then. Remember?
Yeah, they gave a shit about that.
And so he made us pour them all out and then throw the bottles in the ditch. We're like,
we littering.
Yeah. 61 bottles in the ditch.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to dump out. Our hands were so raw from opening them.
People saw us when they drove by.
Yeah. That's why I had to wait a year till I started dating women. Unbelievable.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
You never been to jail, right?
Mm-mm. I never been arrested, dude. I had handcuffs put on one time. I got in a fight on the Strip, Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it was? It was UFC. Shit. It was when they did the half show.
Well, it was 33 and a third or something like that?
It was literally called UFC and a number and a half. And it was at the Bellagio.
I think, what is it, 35? Is that when...
it was something and a half.
John Fitch fought?
No. Fitch didn't come in until I was on Ultimate Fighter. It was... who was with me was... Who was...
Dennis Hallman?
Dennis Hallman was with me, yeah. And
why do I know your stories better than you?
Well, I'm trying to think. It was Christian, obviously. I was with Christian, UFC fighter. And
was Paul there?
Paul.
Nice. I miss Paul.
So we were walking down the Strip, and we had some people with us. And as we were walking down, some like thug guys were like trying to harass us and talk shit about our lady friends and us. And Dennis Hallman and my buddy Paul wasn't being too nice either, but they kind of like, went back and forth with these guys and were verbally jabbing back and forth. And I was just like, guys, let's keep this cool, because we were walking on the Strip, And next thing you know, they jumped on us, and we had like this gigantic brawl. And it was like all like UFC fighters and fighters versus like just random guys that were trying to pick a fight. Yeah, and we beat them up. I mean, I only fought one guy kind of like, and I was still trying to control the situation. I wasn't trying to like bash anyone's head in or anything. I wasn't drunk or nothing like that. And Christian broke up a lot of it. And Paul, my buddy Paul, is like this crazy fighter guy, and he's not that tall, right? He's a little short.
Like a pink El Camino.
Yeah, it was a rainbow at one point.
Wow.
Because it broke down on the freeway and he just left it. He said it's totaled.
He parked it next to our empty wine cooler bottles.
Yeah. And so the guy had like fake punched, well, not fake, but like,
that flint or whatever.
Yeah. And
people
so
still do that
started the whole thing, and they got in a big fight. And Paul had like a Punisher tank top, had like a Punisher logo on it underneath his shirt. And the fight happened, and we're trying to break it up, and I'm tussling with this one guy, and then Christian went in there and was grabbing everybody. And the fight was going down, and we started feeling liquid like hitting us. I didn't know quite what it was, and then it started burning. So it was mace. It was like from the cops, and they were spraying everybody. Like just
how does that feel? Not
good. I mean, at first I didn't feel it, and then like a few seconds later, I felt the touch. It was like liquid, and then after a few seconds it started burning. And it was decent.
Oh.
And the cops jumped in, were screaming, and I looked at Paul, and Paul was on top of the guy that had like, tried to punch him or whatever, faked it, and he was on top, and then the police or somebody ran by to grab him, and they grabbed his shirt and ripped it off. Literally ripped his shirt clean off. He was in mount position.
And
the Punisher logo was there. It was fucking like a movie, dude. And he was punching this guy, and the guy's face was all cut up, and then the cop was like squirting the mace, and it got all in this guy's face. So they handcuffed us all and put us all like in a row, and of course we were just like, yes sir, whatever you want. And the other guys were like, fuck you pigs, like not the best choice of words.
People say that dumb
so
shit.
It took like 2 seconds for them to realize who
the assholes were.
Yeah, and their faces were cut up and it was burning. Like it was bad. I don't think we had any damage at all.
See, I think because I wear contact lenses, that would really. But an open wound must just. Ooh.
So they let us go, man. They took the handcuffs off, and that was the worst thing I've ever done as far as police.
Man,
pretty.
You need to live a little.
Buddy. I know, man. I've been
I went
good,
to jail.
I've always been training and fighting.
When I was 15 for breaking and entering.
Jesus.
I broke into a concession stand at a baseball field and stole $585 worth of beef jerky and candy.
That's a lot, bro.
And I tried to sell it at school. And
so you're a businessman.
Yeah. Well, no, I got arrested. By officer in Pasadena, Texas, by Officer James Park-O-Meter. Swear to Jesus, that's his name. Park-O-Meter. I was like, are you fucking with me, dude? You already arrested me. Come on. Is that really your name? Yeah. James Parkameter. But yeah, again,
Makes you feel better. The Rock, he had a nice little criminal record before he got famous, so maybe you have some hope. I think he got in fights and wrote bad checks and did all kinds of crazy stuff. I think he stole some stuff. Yeah, dude. I just saw a video on his Instagram.
He played like in the NFL, and then he went straight to wrestling. And
I saw a video on his Instagram when he was in Hawaii, like maybe 2 weeks ago, and he was outside of his old home, like where he lived, and he was like poor and stuff. And he was like, man, that's where I like wrote bad checks and got taken to jail. That's where I got in a fight. That's where I stole money from this guy or stole something from this guy. Yeah, dude. He's just like you. You're just like The Rock, bro.
I stole a O.J. Simpson rookie card. Literally 4 days before he killed his wife. I'm sorry. He allegedly killed his wife.
It's pretty much like, would you write a book saying
how I would have done it or whatever?
It's close enough to like.
I mean, it's ridiculous. The guy's guilty, but.
Jeez, this episode's gonna be called "Mark the Criminal."
But you had somebody stole it from me right afterwards, so touche, yeah.
So wow, going back to Mr. What's his name? Something Andrews.
Oh, it's
that turned the podcast
Chad
dark.
Erwalt.
So we'll follow up on that because that's interesting, man. We gotta like,
we'll keep.
Maybe we'll link the video because he made like a video or something.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but he made like some highlight video of his little home or Seastead by the seashore.
He just, have you ever looked in somebody's eyes and they're just not 100% there?
Yeah,
that's kind of what I see going on with this guy.
He didn't look like the smartest guy.
I mean, best of luck to him. I mean, I don't want him to die because he did something obviously stupid. But
so going to less, I guess, criminal things, but still bad.
That's what this episode's
about. I don't want to beat a dead horse here. We'll stay on topic, kind of.
Is that against the law to beat a dead horse?
No,
all the
actually,
horse laws.
Yeah, a horse died in front of me one time. I'll be honest. I didn't beat it.
I shouldn't laugh. I mean, I don't like dead horses.
Well, so we had we get a little story, but I had like a little ranch. Well, I still have Burnham. You know where I live in Burnham, a little ranch or whatever. And we had a barn, and we would board horses so people could actually come, like an apartment. You know, you rent out apartments. We rented out stalls to people who want to come in and like leave their horse because they live in a house or something.
Were you getting some stable income?
Yeah, it was nice. There you go. All right, make yourself feel better. Anyway. So I would have to clean the stalls, feed it, and then or the horses, and then we'd get money per month to let them stay at our place because they lived in a house or apartment, whatever, And we had this real nice horse. It was like real expensive, and part of the thing was we took it out in the pen and gave it exercise. So we'd ride it or let it run around, and we were bringing it back from the pen, and we were crossing this little creek that we have, and it like reared up and fell down dead.
How?
It broke its neck. Yeah. And I was like, man,
Were you on it?
No.
Oh.
We were just leading it back. But
I was
Christopher
walking. Reeve did something similar to that.
Yeah. That's not nice either.
Well,
I'm going to make everything dark. Let me get back to my story.
All right, sorry.
Anyway. So it died, man. And I was sitting there and just like, holy shit, because it wasn't our horse, So imagine if you had an expensive horse.
I didn't think about
that. It was in, someone else's place and it died. So I thought we were going to be in like serious trouble with this guy, which I guess there's like some kind of, we didn't have waivers and contracts, but I guess just a friendly, good old Texas like, it happens. He was fine. I mean, he understood. And it's not like we killed it, obviously.
But
it was like it died right in front of me. And I was just like, to see an animal that big just flop dead in front of me. That was the first time something died in front of me. I was like completely healthy, happy, dead in like 2 seconds. I was like, holy shit. I still remember that. I didn't going back to beating a dead horse. I didn't beat it, but it was pretty impactful.
What makes a horse expensive? Never understood that. Like I get the ones the thoroughbreds that race in the Kentucky Derby that have a bloodline.
Every horse does. I mean, show horses do something. I mean, we had cutting horses.
Kind of like dogs and shit, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, they have so many different ways they can show the horse. So if it's had success or it's like father had success, then, it's like its bloodline's worth a lot of money.
Can you ride them and make them jump over the gates or whatever it is?
No, I don't do that.
Like, I just can't picture you. I can picture you, like, shirtless on a horse.
That's weird.
Yeah, you and, what's your boy's name? Putin. So.
But, yeah, so, I mean, yeah, and that's where the stud comes from. We use stud all the time because we had stud horses, and all they did was breed. So their job was just to have sex with mares. So people would come in and pay.
So you had a brothel.
Kind of. Horse brothel.
Wow.
So people would come in with their mares, their females, and they would pay money to get impregnated by our stud because our stud was like, big, strong, healthy, he had good bloodlines. He won a lot of shows, whatever the case.
Was his name Mark?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't named Mark.
Was he hung like a horse?
No.
Okay.
I don't think. I didn't examine his
I didn't know
penis.
that you did all that. I mean, I know you had some horses and stuff. I didn't know you
Yeah.
pimped them out. God bless you, though. What do they pay?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure you weren't on the business end of that deal when you were 14.
No,
or whatever,
I was, this is a big extension to the story of beating a dead horse. Getting back, I'm trying to figure out where we were. So
Did you watch them?
What?
Did you watch them breed?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like watch
Did you
them
have
like
to put your hand in there and like?
No, that's what the vet comes out to test to see if the horse is okay when it's pregnant.
That doesn't look fun.
No, they shove their whole arm, but they put like a glove thing on and shove their whole arm in the horse's and they feel the baby. That's weird.
You can say it, Mike.
You're 40.
Feels
Weird when it comes to a horse, though.
Vagina.
But yeah, shoving your whole arm in there and like feeling the baby, that's weird, man. I don't know. I wouldn't want to like do that job, I think. But anyway, going back, this is way.
What happened to this episode?
Way sideways there, but
is this an MMA episode?
Going back to beating a dead horse, your comment that led into that crazy story, TJ Dillashaw. My question is something less criminal but still bad. What is your take on TJ? I mean, I know, like I said, obviously we just talked about beating a dead horse here. A lot of people's covering this. But what's your take on just the overall punishment for him for doing EPO and getting caught?
I mean, I'm sure I'm going to feel a little different from you. Like, I think cheating sucks. I get it. But I'm not proud of him or congratulating him or something. But the fact that he didn't fight it at all.
He
like
couldn't,
all these people,
no. He
I
couldn't.
know. That's what I'm saying. But
it's
at
like
least,
getting caught with a murder weapon in your hand.
My favorite baseball player of all time, David Justice.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him. He got caught for steroids, and then he goes, "There's no way I take steroids because I'm scared of needles." That's your defense? Come on, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I was collecting your cards when I was 10. Now you just let me down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, just, there's always, oh, well, it must have been in my fruit shake or some, all these dumb reasons people lie about. But he was just like, yeah, well, fuck, I got caught.
Yeah.
He just gave the belt up, no bitching, no moaning. I mean, it's unfortunate somebody so, obviously a champion, so huge and all that his whole career is going to be tainted now. But
I think people don't give enough attention to the fighters that got beat by him. And if he tested for those fights, the impact that has.
Well, friend of ours.
Yeah, Cody. Yeah. But the thing is like, I feel like he should be punished kind of like taxes do, sort of. So when you commit tax fraud or evasion or you lie on your taxes, I think the guys like John Jones that have a picogram or, they take something that could be in supplements, could be in, like, maybe 80, 90% they're full of shit and they probably took it on most cases. But there is that doubt, right? There is a little bit of doubt there that like you can't prove 100% because it could be in a supplement. It could be in something else. It was a small amount. Right. I think that's the smartest way to go if you're going to do it because you can't prove 100% that they did cheat, right? But when you have somebody that 100% set out to mislead everybody and do something,
because the only way you can
illegal
have
that
cheat in your system is by injecting.
I think they should be punished far more, like taxes. And what I'm saying by taxes is, if you lie on your tax return and claim more expenses or smudge some numbers a little bit, you're not going to get thrown in jail. But you will have to pay your fees and your taxes and all that. So it's still not nice, but you're not going to have to go to jail and serve hard time. If you set up something to not pay taxes, and this big illegal scheme or whatever, you're going to jail. And most often those guys don't have criminal records, Mm-hmm. So now they're a convicted felon. They're in prison. I mean, they throw the book completely at him. And I think that should be the case with TJ because without a doubt he cheated. You know what I mean? So it's like there's no like, well I'm going to punish you even though you could possibly be innocent. So you're just going to get this punishment. Yeah. You did cheat. You set out to cheat, which ultimately hurt people. And you didn't get prison. You didn't get fined. I don't think he even got fined. He just got 2-year suspension. Mm-hmm. That's very light.
So he's going to be able to keep all of his win bonus, all his
I think he keeps everything. Money. That's way light to me, bro.
And yes, I get it. He can't fight for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So he won't get obviously a fight check or anything like that.
But neither will anyone else. Like John Jones, when he got suspended,
he can still train people and make, he can still run his, I'm sure, I don't know what him and
he's taking a hit, definitely. I mean, so he's getting that. But the thing is, like, I think that like guys like Cody Garbrandt or serving the prison sentence that he should be serving, right? Because look at the impact. Like when you become a felon, right, for these guys that are business guys, that's detrimental to your health, to your obviously your reputation, your career. It's the same thing with Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt lost to this guy, and he was on steroids. And what's going to happen with Cody? I mean, he got knocked out. That caused damage, right?
Yeah, 3 fights in a row now.
But that caused damage, right, to his head. I mean, we can't even calculate how much damage that actually cost. What about to his reputation? What about to his mental, like
and
confidence?
His bank account. Those losses aren't.
And he gets nothing in return. He doesn't get to sue TJ. I don't think. I think he should be able to. He doesn't get to sue him. He doesn't get any kind of nothing, man.
Yeah,
it's just like I don't think it's fair when you look at those guys. I would be pissed, man.
There should be their own league. If you want to do steroids, there's got to be some country that doesn't give a shit.
I'm not opposed to steroids if everyone's doing it.
And
then it becomes like
everybody can do it.
Then it becomes like who's the best scientist, who trains hard, who's the best technically. It's the ultimate, master. It's a gimmick. But they have to be on the same playing field, though.
It's like a gimmick. Like who wouldn't want to watch two dudes just juice to the gill?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the fad right now going on with bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah.
That's starting to catch a little more. And I didn't think that would ever be sanctioned, but
yeah. I don't know, man. I just think, I'm not trying to bag on TJ. I like TJ up until this point. Not that I hate the man, but it's like, I don't know, man. Being a fighter myself and fighting guys in the past that I think were on steroids or not, I don't think I've lost to somebody that I thought was on steroids. Fortunately, I did win those fights, but it's not fair, man. Like, I would be pissed. If I was Cody or these guys, I'd be pissed, man.
Well, see, like, I got a different
perspective. I mean, he was a champion. He was at the highest level.
Yeah. Well,
and he got knocked down, and he hasn't been able to come back yet. And who's to say? I mean, dude, confidence is huge when you're fighting. When you're winning fights like Anderson Silva, every fight he won helped guarantee he was going to win the next one because people put him on a pedestal. He's confident. You just get that, that added push. And like when that gets broken down, especially from someone who took steroids and did something illegal, I just think there should be some repercussion for that above and beyond these guys that could have had it in their supplements, which are still bad, but you just can't prove it.
I think the average guy, like before myself, a fan, before I actually started working with you and all that, like you don't realize how hard these guys work.
Yeah.
Like nobody, like I didn't realize, like Manel, God bless, like go back to Manel. That dude's there 4 times a day.
Yeah,
he's busting his ass, and for him, to see somebody, as good as TJ, it's like, do you really need to cheat? I mean, what? Yeah, it's so hard to say. That's
it's crazy,
like I said, back to Barry Bonds. 7-time All-Star. He was the best baseball player in the world, and then he started doing steroids.
Yeah,
like, why? Why'd you do it? I mean, I get the.
I know
$48
now
million contract
to give him some. Voice. I know now that like he's probably like, fuck, I shouldn't have done it. If I could go back, I would. And that's what I would think. So I assume that's where he's at right now, but it still doesn't fix the fact. Like, dude, I don't know, man. I just think about the guys. I'm not thinking about TJ. I'm not thinking about the UFC. I'm not thinking about USADA. I'm thinking about the guys like Cody. You know what I mean? Like that's just bullshit, man.
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't get fined, how is that possible, bro? How is USADA going to be this new big like superpower in the world of doping?
Is
and
he
someone
allowed
like
to
him,
sue?
someone like him gets caught on the highest level, like 100% cheated. He admitted it's across the board. Like there's no like doubt at all, and doesn't even get fined. Just 2 years. That's it. I don't know. I just think it's light, man. I think it's light. And I think Cody should get some kind of reimbursement in some way, whether he sues him or gets some kind. I don't know. I just think it's bullshit.
If I'm working a job in Houston and I get popped for coke, I'm subject to criminal charges at my job. Like if they test me, like it's weird how like I guess they're like, oh, okay, well he'll just quit. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he needs to go to jail, but
don't get me wrong. Maybe. How much damage did he cause to coach? You keep going back to that, but dude, we're fighting. It's not like baseball. You know what I mean? Like in baseball, you mentioned one time before you could hit the ball harder and hit someone in the face if they can't catch it. Unlikely, but you're not punching someone in the face.
No, I agree.
And not only, it's not like you could punch somebody.
So it's even more criminal than it.
Exactly. You're beating somebody, dude. That would be a crime on the street. The only reason it's not a crime is because it's in the cage and it's sanctioned. But if you're cheating to do it, it almost goes back to the street, right? You're doing something illegal. Like imagine if so if he could have punched him, right? Hypothetically, but he didn't. He won with the submission and they just wrestled. Okay, it might be a little bit different, but the fact he won those fights by smashing the brain around in the head, that's violent, bro. And how much of that was worse because he was on steroids? How much of that was not like any person his weight? Cody could have been fighting somebody at a higher weight class completely unfair because of his strength and his power.
What EPO does.
It makes your cardio way better.
But see, I think it could affect people in different ways. Like if I take an aspirin, you take an aspirin, it may affect us just a little bit.
But it affects you in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It could do a lot of different things.
If I take it and you take it,
But a high trained athlete like TJ,
it's dangerous.
It's going to make you, it's going to make you even more dangerous for sure. It's not, if all you're doing is training and you're taking something to help, improve your red blood count, is what I'm pretty sure EPO does. It does so many things. It recovers your body. It builds. It does so many different things.
God, just why ruin your legacy?
You can't even figure all the things. attributes to the fight.
I mean, like Barry Bonds, you can't tell me like his kids. They could be the sweetest kids in the world, but as soon as you say, "Oh, Barry Bonds," but it was like, "Oh, he does steroids." Like, it's going to always be around.
He was the poster child for that. But I still don't see what Barry Bonds and baseball and football players do. Even football, they do hit each other. Yeah. I still don't see that as bad as fighting. If you're fighting another man and you cheat, that's just fucked up, man. It's just fucked up, in my opinion.
They should just have their own league.
And then didn't they go back and test his samples against?
I think he popped again for Cody, the first Cody fight. I mean, I'm not 100%. Don't quote me.
I don't think there's any doubt whether they prove it or not that he was taking stuff the entire time.
But you really, I really do feel bad for Cody, man.
You got to think of that. Nobody really breaks down from the fighter standpoint that got beat. They break down the fight with Henry and him and his family and, like all this kind of stuff. They don't ever go back to Cody. I mean, they do a little bit, but they don't break it down like from a fighter standpoint. Like, I would be so pissed, bro. You're a champion. He had Maddox there and they became a champion together. It's a good story. I mean, who knows the potential he had if he kept winning and being a champion? I mean, how can you even calculate how much he's lost? Yeah. It's you can't even calculate what that guy's probably lost. And his confidence moving forward, he might not get to that level again just because he got knocked down, right? I mean, imagine the embarrassment and the ridicule he took for losing that fight. And having, being that there was bad blood, it made it even worse, right? Because you lost to somebody who you were trying to out as a bully and a bad person, and then everyone thinks he's a great guy. Now, finally, we see, okay, maybe TJ wasn't this person.
On the other side, now, this may be a confidence booster for like, oh, okay, well, that loss was bullshit. That never should have happened.
It worked that way, bro. I mean, it can be, but there's detrimental damage already done. I mean, when you get knocked out, because now you start questioning your chin. You start questioning. So it doesn't matter what happened now or what happens now and then like how you go in the next fight. Maybe you are like, okay, I wouldn't have lost. Maybe people understand I wouldn't have lost, but you did get knocked out. Mm-hmm. And everybody knows the more you get knocked out, the more likely you're going to get knocked out in the future, right? It adds up. So like I would be worried like, damn, I got knocked out pretty hard. I'm going to be, probably more susceptible to getting knocked out in the future. I'm going to be more scared, I guess, of the punch. Whereas Cody's not a scared fighter, right? He goes like full on, like he throws himself in the fire. And like now he might not. Now he might be a little more timid because he's been knocked out. And I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. I hope not, man. I just look at it from his standpoint because he's the victim. TJ's not the victim. The fans are the victim a little bit, but Cody's the real victim. And these guys that, like fight these guys on steroids and they lose. And there's just nothing for them. The system is not set up to help them. It's set up to punish a guy who did it, and not even to the extent I think that it should be, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think once you 100% know he did it on purpose, he set up this big plan to like evade USADA, his opponent, and the fans. I think you throw the book at him like they do for taxes, like I was saying. Like, there's no doubt. There's no like, we're going to do this, but maybe he's innocent. Maybe it wasn't supplements. No, it's gone with TJ. He did it.
That's tough.
He should get the book.
There's always going to be cheating, like it's impossible to stop it. So it's like, what can you make it so severe that makes people stop doing it?
I mean, I think 2-year ban is pretty stiff. I mean, I don't think it's stiff enough for TJ, but I think it is stiff enough to for people.
27, so yeah. I mean,
I think people coming up
prime,
aren't going to want to even get that. I think if they're going to like try to be a champion, it's detrimental to your career for sure. I don't think in this case, considering the fight he had with Cody and how it went and all this kind of stuff, I don't think it's enough. But for people coming up, I'd be scared. I wouldn't do anything.
And what's going to happen.
I wouldn't take a steroid.
In a year, we're not going to even remember this.
Yeah.
It's just like
I think TJ's
when
tainted
Anderson
forever
Silva
now.
fights now. I don't think that he popped.
He
I'm
did too much. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you still see. He's still fighting, by the way. You know who? Oh, speaking of segue, you know who's still fighting? I could have sworn I saw BJ Penn versus Clay Guida.
No.
Did I see that somewhere, or am I?
Correct.
Am I wrong on that? Can we get our
statistician? Yeah. Really?
I think yeah.
Wait, BJ just got in trouble, actually.
Let's see.
What?
2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Wow.
That's crazy, huh?
That's a crazy fight, though.
Well, in '99, it would have been awesome.
No, but still, I mean, they're on the even playing field, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, of course we'll watch it.
But wait, BJ just got in trouble, I think, in Hawaii. I think he, like, had a machete and, like, hit the ground and, like, threatened somebody.
That's Hawaiians, though, man.
I'm serious. I just read this somewhere. Do you see anything on that, Greg?
I haven't, but I'll look.
I think he...
Phil Coletti?
It's something like terroristic threat, I think. Kind of weird. It wasn't... He didn't hurt anyone, but... Anyway.
Yeah, right there. Machete.
Yeah.
Threaten a farmer with a machete.
Yeah. It's not quite the Conor McGregor level of criminal conduct, but, I mean, it is something.
Go to jail for that.
I don't know what you get for criminal... or for... Is it terroristic threat?
First degree terroristic threatening. Ooh. Class C felony.
That's shit, it's a felony. Did he get convicted, or is he fully charged with that, or is that what it could be?
That's what it could be.
Well, obviously he hasn't been convicted.
He'll get
yet, but
off. I mean,
that's what they're going
money
to try him for, or
He
whatever.
didn't hurt the guy.
I mean, in this situation, maybe they settle if it's not like the cops press. I don't know how that works.
So weird.
Yeah.
That's why you can't do shit anymore without getting.
In that situation, though,
caught.
he's just like, he could just be like
Well,
angry and
don't
yelling.
bring
It's
a
not like he
sword to
hit
a-
anyone.
yeah.
Well, he probably was out macheting the. I don't think PJ was out macheting anything.
Macheting an adjective?
I don't know, dude.
Huh.
I don't know. I saw Machete the movie.
Weren't you in a movie with some guy from Machete?
I don't know.
What's that guy's name?
I don't even know who
the old Mexican dude.
No, I wasn't.
He
Danny
was right
Trejo,
there. You
that
go.
movie I did. I don't think so. No,
Oh,
I don't think so. The movie I was in, they filmed in so many locations and stuff. It was a lot of fighters I never saw.
Yeah.
We filmed without
We
each
only
other.
there, what, 2 days or whatever you said?
Yeah, but I mean, there was other parts of the film. Bisping was in it. The whole thing, I never even met him. Or I didn't even see him at the fight or the video film.
What was the name of that movie?
Beat Down.
Yes.
I fought in the final scene against Rudy Youngblood, the guy that ran across. I didn't watch the movie, but Apocalypto.
Isn't he the last movie?
He was nominated for Academy Award for that film. It's Mel Gibson's film, and he just ran the whole movie, I guess, and was like, I don't know.
Like Forrest Gump?
No, I don't know. I don't know what the movie was about, but I mean, it was a big film for sure. I just never watched it. He's a small guy, which I showed up in.
He beat you up?
I showed up in Austin. I was like, I got this guy. I'm gonna be the star
Where
of
was
this movie.
Where did it film?
In Austin.
Oh.
Yeah. It was right before I fought Paulo Thiago. I left filming the movie to go get in fight camp to fight Paulo Thiago because Koscheck got injured. Koscheck was supposed to rematch him because he had beat Koscheck by knockout. And then he was going to rematch. And then Koscheck got injured. Bob Cook called me. I was on the set of the film. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, not thinking about, because I just lost to Dan Hardy. So I was like, I'm not thinking about fighting at all, man. I'm taking a break. I'm getting the hell out of the gym. And he's like, well, I think you need to come back and get in fight camp and take this fight. I'm like, fuck that. No way, man. I just lost to Hardy my whole career. I mean, that was my second title contention fight, I lost the fight to the chance to fight GSP, and I was just like bummed out. And I was doing a film, so I was like, I was doing okay. I was having fun. And Bob was like, yeah, but man, if you win this fight, that'll put you right back. Do you want to wait around and have a bunch of fights? Or you want to take this fight, win it? It's a winnable fight, and then now you're back, and you can possibly go for that contention again. And I was like, all right.
Damn.
Yeah.
When was that? 2008? That was a
I
while
don't know.
back, huh?
Maybe 7.
Whatever happened to Paulo Thiago?
I don't know.
That was a scary looking dude, man.
He had long arms, dude, deceptively long, because he caught me with the same hook that he caught Koscheck with, and it just stunned me. And then I went down, and then I felt okay when I hit the ground, and I came up to try to sweep him because he came on top of me. Thank God he didn't punch, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, sweet, he's just going to hold me. And I was okay on the ground. So I was like, and I know he was a black belt champion, but I was like, I can at least get over and get back up, or at least hold him until I can get stood up or something. And when I went to it was kind of like a sweep, and I ducked, or I hooked this arm under, and he used that, and he put me in a darce. I didn't even see it coming, man.
Fuck.
It was like, I just remember he put it on, and everything started going black.
I've been there.
And I was just fighting. I was like, well, I'm going to fight till either I wake up or, until I get out. And unfortunately for me, I went to sleep. I woke up to Bruce Buffer telling me what happened. It's weird, man.
First time you ever been choked out?
First time I was ever unconscious. Even Matt Brown, when my only real knockout loss, I wasn't unconscious maybe a second. I never, the second I went down and they pulled him off, I got right back up. I was fine. I remember everything. But that was the first time. So I've never been knocked, I guess, completely unconscious, but choked out was a weird feeling. Because it's like you feel like you've been out a long time. So when you wake up, you have no idea what's going on.
You remember?
But I'm saying when you're in the octagon and there's lights and
that
people.
That would be weird to see, yeah.
And your corner's in there looking at you they're scared as shit. And Buffer's there telling you, and you obviously know you lost because he's excited and jumping around. And you're just like, fuck, you're trying to put it all together. And it's a bad feeling, man.
That's
really
who,
bad.
you know what? That's who we need. I bet he's got 50,000 stories. We need to get Bruce Buffer on here.
Yeah, that'd be good, actually. He does, man.
Think you can make that happen? Yeah, we're some pretty good poker
For sure,
buddies.
yeah. We played poker all over, man. We played in, we did the World Series together. We did so many different games. So he was my poker buddy for a long time until I moved to Thailand.
Is he 70? Did we hear that?
No, dude.
60?
No, I think he's maybe
because his birthday was around the same time as yours, I thought. Yeah, see how old Bruce Buffer is. He's got to be 62.
Make a guess. 62? I say 60.
I'll say 61
a round number.
until June 3rd.
No.
Oh, 61. May. Oh, I was 12 days off.
Yeah.
Well, when are you gonna realize that I'm the best with
Dude,
dates,
he's
but-
probably missed maybe 3 or 4 UFCs since he started.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's
not seeing him.
amazing. It's
Especially
amazing
with how many there are.
Yeah, it's amazing how many he does. But yeah, man. So yeah, it's crazy. Bruce.
Good old Bruce.
Yeah, we'll get him on, man, because he has probably a lot of stories.
He's from Oklahoma.
I mean, think about just the experience of being at those UFC events in those locations. How many he's been to? Like, there's got to be so much.
Well, how about a weird family, I guess, bragging rights that you're the complete voice of the best martial arts, you know,
Yeah.
and then your brother does all the boxing and stuff. That's like,
And they found each other. I forgot how the story fully went down, but they found each other later on. Like, Bruce found him.
they didn't grow up together.
Or they may have, and then they got separated or something. And then he later found him, and Bruce, like, is kind of like the...
Well, I'd like to hear his dad talk. Like, because if you're
Yeah.
producing 2 sons that have the best voices in
Yeah.
combat sports, you know.
But it's not just the voice, man. There's a lot of people that have a good voice. I mean, Bruce doesn't make mistakes, man. Very, very rare.
You know, he's extremely.
It's like Joe Rogan's ability to call fights, man. I mean, like, I did it with, I think it was Amped Mobile, I think. I hope. I was sponsored by a few different mobile companies. They were coming
I
up.
remember Boost.
I think maybe it was Boost then.
Where are you at? That was the tagline.
Man, I feel bad. Was it? It wasn't Boost? There was 2. And one was Amped and one was another one. I can't remember.
I know Boost. I don't know if you were with.
I think it was Amped, dude, because it's not around anymore.
Neither of them are.
Is Amped? Can you look up AMPT? Amped Mobile. So whatever one it was, this was back in before all these fights we just talked about with Tiago and Dan. They came on and started doing a thing where they were going to be the first mobile company to actually show a UFC event on their phone. So the first time you could actually like be somewhere mobile and like watch a UFC event on your phone, and you could pay for it. Innovative back then,
Yeah.
right?
Well, of course, 2006.
When they made the deal with Dana and UFC, Dana put me in as the like the Rogan kind of, the guy who basically talked about the fights after the fight and then set up the next fight. And then it would cut to me, go back to the fight. It would cut to me, go back to the fight. Yeah, I did all of them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so I did those, and then when I had a fight, Forrest Griffin jumped in and did it. It was weird because I had no experience in this, right? I had the Real Quick Mike Swick show for how this started, and then they had their own people, and Dana wouldn't use them. He made me get in somehow. I don't know how. So I was excited.
Did you get paid?
Yeah, I was excited, but like I had no experience, right? And so that was the first time I did live, like actual live. It was on a cell phone.
I bet that's tough, man.
Tough, bro. Super hard.
do
Nothing
live.
like this. To be able to do stuff live without any mess ups and problems. And they'd mess up very rare, but dude, when they mess up, I mean, that's like almost like not messing
Well, I
up.
feel
Because
like-
dude, to do it that less often.
I feel like when
makes sense.
you did the like when you were doing the Primal, like that guy that was announced, I was like, man, I could do that.
Yeah.
And like I just stood next to him and looked at the people. I was like, nah.
It's tough, man.
I mean, I can say a lot of dumb shit, and I really. But
If we did the podcast live and you knew that was it, it'd be hard.
let's do one live.
We're trying. We're trying to figure it out.
Figure out how to do it.
But it's going to be a lot more intense because like you know you can't make a mistake, and everything you say, it has to be not only like sound good, it has to be accurate. Like how many times do we say something later on we find out we might have been off a little bit, but like they have to try to be accurate when they do. Especially Joe Rogan, he has to be an expert on these fights, you know, and the fighters and their systems and their styles and their coaches and
That's
their
why
team.
Dan Hardy's so good too.
And Dan Hardy's amazing at it. He really is actually.
Oh.
What is it? Do we have anything, Greg?
It is Amped Mobile. It's AMP.
Amped. So it was Amped Mobile. So I got a free mobile phone, free service, and I got paid.
I wonder what that phone looked like in 2006.
Unfortunately, the company went down, right?
They all did. I mean, what's
I'm
left?
not saying
now?
it was because of
Just
me,
T-Mobile and
but it could have been. I don't know. Maybe I was like really bad at calling the.
well, in
fights.
America, is there anything else besides T-Mobile and AT&T?
Well, this was kind of like when other companies were trying to come out and
Cricket
like the
still
big
around?
tech, thing, huh?
Cricket still around?
I
That
don't
prepaid
know.
shit you can get?
I don't know. I remember like T-Mobile's been big for a long time,
Yeah.
and they fight in the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. That's like their main place now.
Houston Cellular, I think that's gone.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, that's it. I think that's it for the news right now. And you got anything else?
No, just a good, informative podcast. Learn some things about each other.
We should put a link to that Seastead because that man, I don't know why that fascinates me so much. What the hell was that guy thinking?
Like I think the fascinating part is it's just a horrible idea, but what's fascinating is the punishment that he can receive.
Yeah.
Because it didn't hurt anybody. I mean, I get it again, like a boat could hit it or something, but
I think Thailand ruled on it doing something against their sovereignty, if that makes sense. I don't really know much about that.
yeah,
I'm not gonna.
not a good Thai law.
I'm not gonna. I know the land laws,
Which, by
obviously.
the way, Thai law was football player for the New England Patriots.
Oh, nice. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Good job.
Shortest name in NFL history.
Ty-Law?
T-Y, and then last name Law, L-A-W.
Huh.
How about those fun facts, huh?
All right. Well, on that, we'll close the show out. But first, take a look at our sponsors. Well, first, we'll give a shout out to June Yu at Starfish Concept, our PR marketing team.
One of the best.
That helps out in the Asian area. All over the world, actually, now. She's branching out to do everything. Actually doing sponsored fighters and stuff now as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's getting into more sports stuff.
She's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's got a book out, so check out June Yu at Starfish Concept on Instagram, website, everything else. And then our major sponsor. Any new updates from AKA Thailand that's coming up?
Just
we got accommodations coming. We've already talked about that,
yeah,
but we got some cool things we can announce soon.
Yeah,
we talked about last night.
Yeah, man.
We can't say anything right now. So there is some really cool stuff going to happen.
And it's not just because we can't because we're being sneaky. It's like literally.
Yeah, we can't.
We can't.
Yeah, we can. But soon.
Greg didn't even know.
Soon. And then I want to get into my new NPO next episode. Starting a new nonprofit, which you know about that.
I do.
And then some other stuff. So we'll get into some more cool stuff that we're doing hopefully next episode.
Maybe try to throw a guest on?
Yeah. We're going to start bringing more guests on from AKA Thailand as well, some of the up-and-coming fighters. We have a lot of requests from you guys wanting to hear about fighting and living in Thailand from up-and-coming fighters. So we're going to have Manel on as well, Manel Cape, and we're going to have a lot of these guys that are kind of up-and-coming in the shows, but they can at least highlight what it's like being in Thailand, what it's like fighting here, like some of the Muay Thai guys, especially fighting locally on the circuit, or the big fighters that are coming in to fight UFC, Bellator, Ryzen, 1FC. We have a couple of UFC fighters.
Also, let us know if you guys like the like kind of the local news. We just found some things that we thought were kind of funny and just kind of quirky.
Well, I went in the gym yesterday and was getting some updates from you guys, and then we just talked about the podcast, what we're going to do, things that we're going to add, which we'll tell you guys about soon. And then we started getting into local news just because Greg's over there like always on his computer. And like I was like, man,
piano?
Yeah, he plays the piano.
Oh, okay.
And I was thinking like, man, we should talk about some of that because that's what makes us like different, I think, is because we're in Thailand. We never talk about like Thailand news. And dude, the news is fascinating. What's our favorite show that we watch online?
Phuket News.
The Phuket News, right? We've lived here how long now? Like we've been here for so long, and we watch that little segment, and we're still like, oh my god, that's crazy.
We're not going to.
It's not all bad. Don't
yeah, that's
get me
what I'm
wrong.
saying.
It's
We're
not
not
all bad. Yeah,
I mean,
it's just
we're just
crazy.
going to tell you the ones that
you know?
we think are kind of funny because I mean,
they're so different than American, like the way they report and the things that happen and what they do. It's just it's a lot of it's funny and happy. It's not like all bad.
You're not going to have like a elephant on a trampoline in your backyard in Houston. You know, like shit like that happens here is just fucking insane. You know, are there trampolines in Thailand?
I don't think so. I've never seen a trampoline.
There's one at Great Man.
What are the 3 things you never see in Thailand, Mark?
Oh, you mean like
no? Okay.
Tow trucks. I don't know what happens when a car breaks down. I have no clue. You never see a fire truck. They're just not fires in Thailand.
Yep.
And matches.
True.
There's lighters everywhere, no matches. And 4.
I thought you were going to play it safe with 3. You're going to go for it?
Fuck.
Go for it.
I don't know what happened. Okay, it's
I'm
no
proud
secret.
of you, dude. There you go, Mr. Criminal.
It's no secret that...
It's not bad.
Are we ladyboys?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's no secret there's ladyboys here.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know what happens once they turn about 35. I don't
so
know
you never see a fire truck, a tow truck, matches,
You'll never
or
see
an
old
elderly
ladyboy. Yeah. Where do they go?
I don't know.
I mean,
maybe they just go back to
I don't
normal.
really want to go there.
And maybe normal is being ladyboy, whatever they want to do, it's up to them. But
yeah,
you never do. You
just don't see them. I don't know what happens.
It's weird here because people will come over and they'll see a ladyboy, you know, at the restaurant serving you or something, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's," you know, because in America you don't see people dressing. Because here it's like it's not even like. I mean, sometimes you see them and they look just like a female you might not know, and sometimes it's like a guy with like a beard and he just puts lipstick on, and he serves you potatoes, and you're just like, "Wow, you would never see that." But you'd never see that in America, right? You would never see that.
His meat and potatoes.
But here it's very likely, and we're so used to it. We could go to.
Like one cut my hair the other day, and it never even crossed my mind that he was a ladyboy.
But when people come from overseas or America or anywhere in Europe, and they see it for the first time, or they see the ladyboy, like, wow, that's crazy. But it's like that's just the life here. But
Caitlyn Jenner, when he became a her or whatever, like,
but that's common here, except being that old.
Yeah,
obviously.
that's a Tuesday here, you know.
But imagine Caitlyn Jenner looking like that or worse at 20. And that's common here.
Wow, you've thought about this.
No, but I'm just saying that compares what we see sometimes here.
Yeah.
When they just sort of dress like a woman, but nothing else.
Yeah,
they didn't have surgery. They didn't like shave. They did,
and they're hilarious.
And they're cool as shit. Yeah.
I mean, I hate people that like try to. And the mistake that these idiots make when they come here is you got to respect them. Yeah. And they try to fight them because they think
they get mad and offended, and they're so insecure with themselves. They get pissed off.
They get their ass kicked.
They get beat up. Yeah.
I mean, it's
because you got to understand it is a man.
It's still a man
in the beginning, and they have man friends. And
and if you fight one Thai, you fight 20.
And how many times we were at Bangla and we saw some guy getting beat up on Bangla Road by like 16 lady boys or something. Because you fight one.
Yeah.
They're coming out of everywhere.
You ever been kicked by a man with high heels on?
No.
I'm sure that stings.
Have you?
No. What the fuck? No.
I don't know about this guy, man. He goes out and like he comes back with weird marks on his body.
So do they.
I don't know. Yeah,
I'm a weird mark on their body.
I bet.
MARC.
I get it.
Okay.
I got you, buddy. I've known you too long. But anyway, long story short, yeah. So those are the 4 things, I guess 4 because you added matches.
Yeah. It's just weird. I know it sounds. Oh, another one. Carpet.
Oh yeah.
I
Carpet.
get. We have 5.
We're up to 5 things you never see in Thailand now.
I can think of some more. I'm sure.
Probably.
But
it is crazy. You don't see a fire truck. You don't see a tow truck.
You know what you don't see? Dents on vehicles. As crazy as it is driving around here, every car is in mint condition. It looks like.
I never noticed that actually.
Look at that next time. It's fucking weird.
But it's like a 500 to 1 ratio with bikes.
Well, and it's $9. Like I got a flat tire this morning. Do you know how much it cost me for a new tire?
Yeah, probably like $5 or something.
Shit. I haggled them down from that. Yeah, it was like $1.90.
Yeah.
And I tipped the guy.
It's crazy.
20 cents, and he lost his shit. And when I got a flat tire in your truck a long time ago, it was like $17 for a brand new tire. I was like, fuck. Well, replace them all, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's different, man.
It's cheap as shit here.
So we'll start getting into more of the Thai kind of news and culture here because that's what makes us unique, and it's interesting. It's not bad. Like we had a couple bad stories today, but usually it's just funny, man, because it's so different and
there's
it's cool.
There's some really good ones.
There is some, and then there's some stuff that happens at the gym with these guys. May not be in the headlines, but it's still interesting.
Yeah,
they go out and get into like.
I'll tell some of those stories.
Crazy the stuff that happens.
I'll open up a little bit about.
We could have a reality show for sure at the gym.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. It'd be the best show, for sure.
It'd have to be on HBO or something.
So if you're a scout for reality shows out there, email me.
Wonder if we ever got Charles Bennett a reality show.
It would be the best show, man.
Didn't we try to do that?
All right, well, let's wrap it up. So speaking of Thailand, if you do go to Thailand, as Dana White says, you have to go to AKA Thailand. And you're probably wondering what it looks like. So here you go.
Good pitch.
Oh, we forgot to. Oh, all right, we're back, guys. So we got to do this.
Do it. There it is.
What's up, everybody? I am here in Thailand. This is the first time I've ever been here. Been dying to come here for years. The great Mike Swick. He's one of the big reasons he's been trying to pull me down here. What he built down here, AKA Thailand, is incredible. There's people here from all over the world. You can train mixed martial arts here, jiu-jitsu. They have weightlifting, they have cardio, and obviously they have Muay Thai, boxing, everything. I'm telling you guys, I know everybody wants to go to Thailand because Thailand's so cool, but you can't come to Thailand without coming to AKA Thailand. Come on.